Okay, we're going to look at the solutions to the inequality equations practice test. All right, and I have a scratch out here, so let's read what it's asking for. For the below graphs, choose the graph that shows the solutions for the inequality. So I have inequality number 1, inequality number 2, and inequality number 3. So let's look at the first one. X is greater than or equal to 4. Now notice my little note below it. When it's greater than or equal to, 4 is included in the solution, and so is everything above 4. That's what I'm looking for. So the closed circle on the graph indicates that 4 is included. So let's see if we can find something that shows everything greater than 4. And that would be this one with the closed circle. So that's why I have the letter A by that. Number 2, X is less than 4. We're looking for an open circle. So you can see here graph D has the open circle. And I'm so sorry I didn't show all the graphs at first. Let me scoot this up so you can see the graphs. This little setup I have doesn't show everything. So anyway, and then the third one, X is greater than or equal to -6, which is graph E. Greater than or equal to, so closed circle and everything above 6. Now be careful, this is the most common wrong answer I get from students because the number 9 is higher than the number 6. They're thinking it's this one, but don't forget, this is -9, not +9. So -9 is actually more in the negative than 6 is, so it's less than 6. Wrong answer here. This is the one you're looking for. Okay, let's look at the next questions. Number 4. Hold on, little technical problem here. Solve the inequality. Okay, now remember, you will first use the distributive property if you need to. That means multiplying a number outside parentheses with everything that's inside the parentheses, one at a time. Okay, so that's distributive property. After distributive, you combine like terms. So put all your x's together, put all your whole numbers together. If you have another variable like y, put all your y's together, combine them. Okay, then after you combine like terms, then you start solving by undoing. And every now and then you want to use the commutative property to make it easier. That means rearrange your numbers. So anyway, so after you've used distributive, combine like terms, then you start solving. The first thing you look for is you undo any addition or subtraction. Then you undo multiplication or division. And if a variable is multiplied by a fraction, you undo that by using the reciprocal. In other words, the fraction upside down, you multiply by that on both sides. Everything you do to undo it, to get the variable alone, must be done to both sides to keep it equal. Both sides of the symbol, I should clarify. Okay, so let's start looking at it. Number 4 was added to, x is added to 13. So to undo it, I subtract 13 from both sides. X is less than -6. Number 5, x is greater than or equal to -9. Now take a good look at this one. We had -3, I'm subtracting 6, minus, minus, just combine those minuses, okay, and you're at -9. All right, now we've got something new here. -3x, that means -3 times x. That's what that means. So what's the opposite of that? Divide by -3. You're multiplying, so you do the opposite operation, which is divide to undo it, but not the opposite number, just the opposite operation. So you're still dividing by the same number, -3. And that's been another confusion of my students. So, and remember, I have a positive here. I'm going to divide by negative. Positive divided by negative gives you a negative answer. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so that's -1. Alrighty, and then number 7, x is greater than or equal to 45 is your answer. Let me turn this over. Okay. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot more. I'm just going to let you view the solutions and correct your papers. Okay, notice I have a little note over here. Combine the negatives. Again, a reminder, when you have minus minus, you're combining them. A little reminder there. Okay. Remember that you change the direction of your inequality symbol if you multiply or divide. All right. So, let's see. I want to go back and just remind you of one thing. Okay, do you see these solutions? Okay, let me remind you of one thing here. On this one, I divided by -3. Notice I flipped my inequality symbol. If you multiply or divide by a negative, the symbol flips. Okay, now let's look at our next page, number 19. I wrote an inequality. To buy into this stock, you must spend a minimum of $150. If Pam has $45 saved, write an inequality that will show the minimum or more that she will need to earn in order to buy into this stock. Okay, so she's got $45. We're adding how much she needs to add to that to be greater than or equal to. We don't know how much that is till we solve it. So minus 45 here, minus 45 here. X has to be greater than or equal to 105. Okay, so write an inequality to represent the graph. 6 is included because it's a closed circle. So you have to have the inequality symbol with the or equal to part to it. And everything's below 6, so X is less than or equal to 6. Okay, another word problem about Bob and his wooden toys. I show how that should look. All right. And then this last one, Bob bought flower plants for $35 each. He wants to buy vegetable plants that cost not $35. Look at that. There's a decimal there. 35 cents. Okay, excuse me. And he wants to buy vegetable plants that cost 45 cents each. He has $20 to spend. If he buys 4 flower plants, how many vegetable plants can Bob purchase? Okay, there was no room, so I had to show the solution. Okay, so he bought 4 flower plants. They cost 35, so 4 times 35 is represented here. We don't know how many vegetable plants, so I use V, and they cost 45 each. So, and it all has to be less than or equal to his $20. So, remember, in situations like this, you don't follow your normal rounding rules. Notice, I got down to dividing 1860 by 45 cents. I showed this math over here, and I could have kept going, but I didn't even bother, because no matter what the decimal is over here, I have to round down. You have to round down when there's money you can't go over. No matter what the rounding rules are, you always round down with money if you can't go over that amount. Okay, so hopefully you're going to be ready for your test, and if not, you can retake it again and get a better score. Thanks.